Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert's Porch. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Love RVStop's 250 at Talladega. It's a Dega, baby. Qualifying's later on this morning. We have 250 miles, 94 laps, 3 stages, 20, 20, and 54. 4 sets of tires, fuel windows, 32 to 36 laps. Depends on where you're at in the draft, cautions, and everything. Races later on today. We know Hailie Deegan, and who is the other truck? And there's 2 trucks that failed inspection. Let's see if I can find that real quick. So Corey Heim and Hailie Deegan both failed inspection twice. They will lose pit stall pick for Homestead. They have to pass this morning, otherwise they would have a pass-through penalty. It looks like the garage opened about 7 a.m. the local time. So they are still getting that done, and there's no updates yet on if they've passed yet. So that is still to come today, so we'll find that story as it develops today. The fact that Corey Heim failed, I mean, some of these failed inspections could be just simple nothing. But hopefully that's what it is for Corey Heim, who's already won, moved on to the championship 4, and then Hailie Deegan trying to get the best positions possible. Some news this week was Busch Motorsports got sold to Spire Motorsports and Rowdy Manufacturing. I think overall, quality of trucks in the truck series, we're not going to see a big difference. I think the men and women at KBM, when they move to Spire, they're going to still put on quality trucks. They're going to have them running up front. It's just going to, that winning tradition that KBM has done with 100 career wins, that's just going to move on. I think it's going to, overall, it's not going to hurt the truck series at all. Alright, here at Talladega, Chevrolet's won 4 of the last 5. Toyota's won 10, Chevy 6. Ford has 1 lone Talladega truck win. That was 17 years ago. So this is the 18th race all time. So if we look at last year's, Stage 1, John Hunter, Zane Smith, Carson Hocevar, Chandler Smith, Tanner Gray. Stage 2, Chandler Smith, John Hunter, Stuart Friesen, Ben Rhodes, Grant Enfinger. The top 10 of the race with Matt DiBenedetto. We also got that news this week where Matt announced a few weeks ago he was leaving Rackley War Racing. And then Rackley War said, "See you, Matt." Matt's currently 9 points. He's out of the run for the championship. He can't fall farther than 10th. So it's kind of like, doesn't really hurt anything. I kind of understand where Rackley War is coming from, in my opinion. Because if you have a driver that says, I have nothing planned for next year, but I am not coming back to this team because I'm better than this team, why would you want that guy driving your equipment, tearing stuff up? I kind of get it to a point like that. If I was Matt, I wouldn't announce it yet, but it is what it is. Chandler Smith will be in the 25 truck this race. Followed by Ben Rhodes, Brett Holmes, Ryan Preece, Christian Eckes, Hailie Deegan, Chase Purdy, Colby Howard, Parker Clearman, and Tyler Ankrum, excuse me. So last year at Talladega, that fall race, average running position, Christian Eckes 5.15. This guy not the real deal. If you look at some of these stats from Daytona and Talladega, Ben Rhodes average finish 7.54, Carson Hocevar 8.73, Corey Heim 10.98, John Hunter 12.08, Tyler Ankrum 12.51, Grant Enfinger 14.52. Number of laps ran in the top 15. Christian Eckes 91, Ben Rhodes 88. This is of 94 laps. Carson Hocevar 78, Corey Heim 70, Tyler Ankrum 69, John Hunter 54, and Colby Howard 54. Laps led last year, Christian Eckes 25, John Hunter 20, Chandler Smith 17, Carson Hocevar 12, Brett Holmes 7, Chase Purdy 6, Derek Kraus 3, Ben Rhodes 2, Zane Smith, Matt Crafton, and Ty Majeski each with 1. If you look at the last 2 races, so truck races raced once a year at Talladega. So the last 2 years, average finishes, Christian Eckes 5.0 with only 1 start. Ben Rhodes 7.5, Chase Purdy 8.0, Hailie Deegan 15.0, Derek Kraus 16.5, Matt Crafton 18, Tyler Ankrum 19, Stuart Friesen 21. You can do some similarities to Daytona Talladega, but typically Talladega's kind of its own beast because number one, it's bigger. It's 2.66 to 2.5. Plus, it's wider. You can go 4 or 5 wide at Talladega. You can't go 5 wide at Daytona. Well, you can, but it ends really bad. But if you take the average of Daytona and Talladega combined, Chris Neckis, he keeps coming up. 3.6. Ben Roach, 5.8 in a win. Ty Majeski, 12.0. Zane Smith, 13.6. Chase Purdy, 15.5. Carson Hocevar, 15.8. Matt Crafton, 17.1. And Grant Enfinger, 19.0. So we have 8 drivers, 7 drivers technically, Kornheim moved on. 7 drivers going for 3 spots with 2 races left in the round of 8. What could possibly go wrong? So Kornheim won last week, won the last race. He is moving on to the championship 4. He in this playoffs 8th, 4th, 4th, and 1st. So he has really kind of put himself above everyone else. I want to say talent. The equipment's good. That is Tricon Garage Toyota. He's the only Tricon Garage that's in the championship, in the playoffs. The playoffs this year. He's just that good. There's a rumor of him moving up to the Xfinity Series next year. Don't know yet. Haven't heard for sure. Second point right now is Chris Neckis, plus 29. His playoffs, 2nd, 3rd, 1st, 2nd. As far as I understand, he is returning to Truck Series next year. He'll have Jake Garcia and Daniel Dye as a teammate. Carson Hocevar is 3rd, plus 18. He's 4th, 2nd, 6th, and 4th in this playoffs. His 2024 has not been announced yet. Rumor has it Xfinity or Truck. My guess, or Xfinity or Cup. Right now, I'm thinking Spire 77 in the Cup. If not, a full-time Spire 77 Xfinity. I could also see him getting that Cup ride in the 77, but him and Zane splitting time in the 77 Xfinity car for Spire Motorsports and even maybe a few truck starts. Grant Enfinger plus 14. We know GMS is closing at the end of the year. We don't know his 24 plans yet, but making the championship 4 would definitely help him get to whatever his plans are for next year. Then we have the below the cut line. Zane Smith, we already know his plans for next year. Cup Series with Spire, technically under contract with Trackhouse, minus 14. You know he wants to get back to the championship 4 to be able to defend his title. Ben Rhodes, minus 19, former champion. Nick Sanchez and Ty Majeski, each minus 22. Now, that point penalty that Ty Majeski got at Milwaukee, I don't know if that affected his Kansas and Bristol run, but if you look at his run, so if you look earlier this year, 5th at Vegas, intermediate, 4th at Texas, intermediate, had issue at Kansas, issue at Darlington, 7th at Charlotte, but then Kansas 18th, 7th at Milwaukee, he won IRP, 19th at Bristol, 2nd at Richmond. Something's not right. I mean, you look at these last 2 finishes, but if you look at his season total though, in Gateway in Nashville, he was 30th and 31st. Kansas, Darlington, 25th and 31st. He was 18th and 19th at Bristol and Kansas. So I wonder if he just had like there's two weak little blurps in this, and everything else is good. I don't know. It worries me. He's making the championship 4 now. All right, the picks to win the Love RVStop's 250. You know, as much as I mentioned his name, Kristen Eckes, yeah, that guy is so talented. Then we're going to go with, let's see here, kind of look over the stats. Yeah, I haven't actually wrote this out yet, so we're doing it right now. Carson Hocevar. I like what he's done here. The average finish of this race last year, 8.73. He was 3rd in stage 1. I just think there's times he runs well. He does get caught up in people's stuff sometimes. But then I'm going with Ben Rhodes. We know he's in a fast hot rod for Thor Sport. We know he can win on the on the super speedways like this. Kind of looking over here. Thinking the fourth pick based on the way they've ran. Going with Zane Smith. He's had an off kind of in the last few races. 5th, 12th, 5th, and 24th. He's due for a good run. You know he wants to get to Homestead or to Phoenix and defend his title. I think. No, I'm not going with Zane Smith. We're taking Zane Smith off. No, I just don't see Ford doing anything here. Yeah, it really takes me this long a lot of times to do these. Nobody else is jumping out at me like, hey, let's go Greenfinger. He'll get that win for old Wilbur there. Alright, so the 4 picks, Christian Eckes, Carson Oscar, Ben Rhodes, and Greenfinger for the Love RVStop's 250 NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race today at Talladega. It's Dega, baby. Alright, as always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show. Don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader sports channel content.